Where would you find shoulder pads and seat belt parts and apparel knits and kitchen linens and a whole bunch of other stuff all in the same place, and you could get it all for free or for a small donation? Well, that's the place that we're visiting today with Mary Tott-ms-cheap. It's a really innovative idea, and I can't wait to tell you about it.
Well, this is the Turnip Green Creative Reuse, and it's sort of a study in sustainability. People donate all this stuff that you see here, and then other people come and get it. And they just make a donation of whatever they can give for the items. It's mostly craft and art supplies, so a lot of artists who are trying to reuse and recycle are finding it to be quite a treasure hunt.
And it's the kind of place that will stimulate your imagination as you walk around and see things and think, what could I do with this that could create something new?
Well, there are things that I never would have thought about using in an art project. I saw over here some seat belts. I mean, these are seat belt pieces, but I'm not quite sure what I could do with that, but I know that there's an artist who makes purses out of it.
Yeah, lots of interesting things here. If you are someone who sews or you'd like to learn, there's so many fabric scraps here that could be made into some wonderful projects.
Well, there are all sorts of samples and other things, but a lot of this comes from industrial and just residential overflow that people have. You know, they had a project or a hobby and they don't do it anymore, and they want somewhere good to give it. Well, this is a great place. It's a nonprofit. It does a lot of good. A lot of teachers come here to get items for their classrooms, and it really is an inspiration of your creativity, as you say.
If you're a crafter, you'll recognize those rubber stamps there that can cost big bucks at a craft store.
Well, they have those, and then they have the ink pads too, so you know you're in luck on that. But you never know what you might find. There's a whole bin here of shells. There are bottle caps. You know, there's jewelry making pieces, broken pieces of jewelry, and then when you get on down here, there's even a container full of Pez. Of the Pez containers, and then something full of glass gems or rubber bands.
Yeah, I love these up here too. If you were trying to fill goodie bags for a child's party, or maybe thinking about a costume party, they've got all kinds of masks and party supplies and things, you could do it for a song.
Well, you could, and you know, when they say that it's free and they want a donation, I mean, you know, you do need to give something, and I think people who can give more, and people who can't are able to take something away, so it works for everybody.
If you're someone who likes to do mosaic crafting, there are so many tiles here that would be great for a project.
Well, you could be really creative with that. I also loved it that they had a whole room full of paper products, and you know, it's everything from packs of paper to construction paper, and that's one of the first things that goes, so if you have that to donate, that's a good thing too.
Christmas wrapping paper, actually all occasion wrapping paper, is a big seller here as well.
And of course they have the frames, picture frames and mat board and that kind of thing. But I loved the signs. These are signs that people had used for various things that you could just unroll and paint and then reuse for something you wanted for a banner, or those things were expensive and you could really come up with something cool with that.
Yeah, they have quite a few of them. They're the large size too, so you could really do a lot with those.
You could. You know, this is one of those places that I think you have to come often. And I love it that things you might not know to get rid of, that know where to get rid of, like trophies and other things that maybe just taking up space in your house, are good to donate here. And it's just such a good place for people to find some good things.
It really is. So how do we find the Turnip Green Reuse Center?
Well, it's on 4th Avenue South. It's a nonprofit. They have a website and all that. So it's pretty easy to find, and they're so nice when you come in here. They have workshops, and they have art shows sometimes from some of their artists that reuse. And so it's got a lot of different elements.
All right. Thanks so much, Mary, for telling us about this great place.
Thanks. Stay cheap.